Well, I guess we're just gonna have to hope that we don't get swept out today. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Phillies Hot Stove Media and Jerry recap on last night's game between the Phillies and the Atlanta Braves as the Phillies lose 4-3 to the Braves as they drop the second game of this three-game series. As we're going to have to hope that we do not get swept out today at 1:35. Now, I guess before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So I think a common theme of last night's game was leaving runners in scoring position, which is something we've seen a lot this season. And comes back and bites us again. I've just never seen a team being capable of just doing the simplest fundamentals when there's runners on base, runners in scoring position. They just can't do it. And that is the reason why they're not a great team. They're a good team, but not a great team. You know what I mean? You go take a look at a team like the Atlanta Braves, a team that excels with fundamentals. This Phillies team does not excel with fundamentals. I mean, it's very, very frustrating. You got the Padres, unfortunately, winning last night against Arizona Diamondbacks. You have the Milwaukee Brewers also collecting a win last night, and the Phillies are only a half game up in that second spot in the National League wild card. It is just very frustrating. If we lose today and the Padres, unfortunately, sweep the Diamondbacks, we are going to be out of that second wild card spot, as we're going to be bumped down to the third one. And we could easily be out of a playoff spot within the next 4 days. Think about that. Think about that one for a second. So Bryce Harper, despite collecting that double last night, continues to overall struggle. You know what I mean? He continues to just not get the job done with runners on base and like everybody on this team. He really needed a big hit last night. It seemed like nobody was willing to step up and get it done. Nobody. As you pick up the scoring summary here in the bottom of the third inning, Ronald Acuna Jr. homers on a fly ball to right center field. A two-run shutout to scores Albies. Acuna Jr.'s 13th homer of the season, number 13 for number 13, and it's 2-0 Atlanta. So back-to-back nights, Ronald Acuna Jr. has hit the ball over the wall, both to the opposite field. So he seems like he's back in his MVP-type form, am I right? My goodness gracious. Ronald Acuna Jr. certainly swinging a hot bat right now. This guy absolutely just obliterates the Phillies. It's just so annoying. I do not like facing Ronald Acuna Jr. He just absolutely has our number 100%. The Braves lead it 2-0. Let me pick it up here in the bottom of the fourth inning. He does it again as Ronald Acuna Jr. doubles on a line drive to left field. William Contreras and Ozzie Albies come around to score, and it's now 4-0 Braves. So Acuna Jr. does it again. Now 22 doubles on the year for him. And of course, Ozzie Albies did fracture his finger last night and will be out the remainder of the regular season. So he had that injury at the beginning of the season that kept him out for a while, and now he's going to miss the rest of the regular season. Of course, he'll definitely be back for the playoffs. But my take on this is the Braves did so well without him for a while, and I don't really think you should be too concerned if you're a Braves fan. If you're going to get him back by the time the playoffs happen, and the Braves pretty much have a guarantee of making the playoffs. I mean, I think it's probably a 99.9% chance. You want my opinion? Let me pick it up here in the top of the fifth inning. Matt Vierling hits a sacrifice fly to right field the other way. Bryson Stott crosses the plays. The Phillies get on the board now at 4-1 ball game. So that was some fundamental baseball from Matt Vierling. So that was pretty nice to see, right? I mean, just doing the little things right. But we just didn't see enough of it last night with the opportunities that we had. We had quite a bit of opportunities, and we just didn't see enough of fundamental baseball. Then we pick it up here in the top of the seventh inning. He does it again as Matt Vierling doubles on a line drive to left field down the line. Perfectly placed as Bryson Stott trots home and scores easily. And the Phillies now cut the lead in half night 4-2 ball game. So Matt Vierling with his 10th double in the season. He had a pretty productive night last night. Pretty much the only guy that actually seemed like he wanted to hit when there were runners on base. And get the job done. And he certainly did pretty well at that department. No question about that off of Colin McHugh. Then we pick it up here in the top of the eighth inning. Bryson Stott signals on a sharp ground ball to center field up the middle. Bryce Harper comes around to score. Of course, he did double in that inning. It's now just 4-3 Atlanta. So think about that. If we would have just held Ronald Acuna Jr. at bay in this ball game, we could have easily won this game. Maybe we could have changed the mentality, but we wouldn't have really been in a good position to win this game. So that's very, very frustrating. So stop giving Ronald Acuna Jr. good pitches to hit. I mean, stop. I understand this Braves lineup certainly is deep, and it's less deep now with Ozzie Albies not being in that lineup. One less named in there. Of course, Matt Olson in the midst of a really bad slump still. Austin Riley starting to play a little bit better, but I mean, he really went through that rough patch there as well. I'm perfectly okay with walking Ronald Acuna Jr. Don't let him beat you. Do not let him beat you. As unfortunately, that would be your final 4-3 Atlanta to take the first two games of this three-game set as they look to get the broom out on us at 135. Kyle Schwarber out of the leadoff spot, collects his single. He continues to have these kind of vanilla games, nothing really that exciting. He'll hit the occasional home run. That's all he does is hit home run, strikeout, hit a single. That was the weirdest single I think I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Schwarber with a 214 average to go along with a 795 OPS, 81 RBIs on the year. And Alec Bohm gets to start the 2-hole and collects a single and also draws a walk. And he's just been very bland, too. I mean, not much really coming out of his bat, I could tell you that. He does have 66 RBIs on the year to go along with a 727 OPS. So the guy's almost hitting 290 on the year. He only has a 727 OPS. As I discussed before, it's just bizarre when Kyle Schwarber is barely even hitting above 200. I mean, basically 15 points above the 200 mark, and his OPS almost sits at 800, while you have Alec Bohm, a guy that's almost hitting 300, and his OPS is just like 727. Are you serious? Over his last 7 games, a 154 average to go along with a 241 on base percentage, a 308 slugging, and his last 15, 250 average, 292 OBP, and a 367 slugging. And I think this is kind of like, this is his like peak, you know what I mean? I don't really think Alec Bohm's really going to get any better than this. I mean, he's an all right defender, overall. I understand it's been better, over the last few months or so, the past several months. But he doesn't hardly ever slug. He basically just puts singles out to right field, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I like Bryson Stott better. I think Bryson Stott has a much higher ceiling. I mean, he hits the ball harder. He hits it, more to all fields with velocity. He has a lot of torque coming off of that bat. With Alec Bohm, as I discussed like a million times before, he lacks torque. He lacks torque in a big way. And I know Bryson Stott has a lot of range at short as a defender, so I do like Bryson Stott better than Alec Bohm, and I think that Bryson Stott has a higher ceiling than Alec Bohm does. Of course, Rhys Hoskins out of the lineup again. I've never seen a team this baby players so much in my life. I just never seen it before, and I've never seen the team never get any updates on these guys. I haven't heard anything hardly about Nick Castellanos. I understand I did see video of him throwing in the outfield yesterday at Truist Park. I haven't really heard anything about Rhys Hoskins. I remember always supposed to be back on Friday night. Was out in the lineup Friday night. Was out in the lineup Saturday night. So just keep babying these players. Just keep doing it. And Bryce Harper hits a double last night, and that was his 26th double of the season. Also reaches on the error, strikes out once, and scores the final run of the ball game for the Phillies and the final run of this ball game in general. A 300 average for Bryce. Fairly productive last night. I mean, he's not really walking that much either. This Phillies team, the walk department has been very lousy recently. It's been quite obvious. A 934 OPS for Harp to go along with 56 RBIs in the season. JT Muto, what in the world is going on? Another hit was performance last night. He has done nothing since that really good game, that 2-homer game in Miami last week. This is the thing that kind of is frustrating. I hate to beat up on a guy that's done so well, but this is like a huge series for us. When we're in the midst of a playoff race, we're currently holding a playoff spot, and we go down to Atlanta. We need to be playing the best of our ability, and look at what we've done. I mean, Bryce Harper hasn't done hardly anything in this series. JT Muto has been absolutely silent. Kyle Schwarber, other than that home run he hit the first game, has done nothing. Alec Bohm has done nothing. Rhys Hoskins not available. So something really must be going on that we're not, being told, because, these are really important games, and the fact that he's not in the lineup, something's going on. This is what we see. I mean, are you serious? I mean, this is just bad baseball. Brandon Marsh collects a knock and also goes down strikes once as well. A 241 average. I still can't believe that stat. He's hitting, around 300 since he joined the Phillies. It's still very impressive. And Gene Segura hit his performance last night. He had a great first game of this series. Not much out of him last night. And Bryson Stott, 2 knocks last night. Of course, collecting that RBI single. A 238 average now for him. Is a 664 OPS, 9 home runs, 42 RBI. And over his last 30 games, a 306 average, a 364 on-base percentage to go along with a 444 slugging percentage. So there you go right there. That pretty much tells you, OPS well above that 800 mark. Well above that 800 mark. That is why I like Bryson Stott better than Alec Bohm. You know what I mean? It's a little bit deceiving. I understand that the numbers can be very deceiving, but that OPS really does tell a big story. A really big story. As I said, there's some exceptions in there. But that's basically the biggest stat in my mind. And Nick Maton collects a single last night, also goes down, strikes twice as well. And Matt Veerling gets to start out and right. So he actually had a pretty good night. Collecting that sacrifice fly and then driving in Bryson Stott on the ribby double to cut the Phillies lead in half. The Phillies only draw 2 walks last night, striked out 9 times, collect 8 hits. Braves and Phillies both collected 8 hits as a team. Aaron Nola, 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all 4 were earned, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. A 3.38 ERA for Knowles. 9-12 on the year as he gets smacked with the loss. And listen, he ate innings for us last night. He went 7 solid innings against the defending World Series champs. This was a fine start for him. It didn't really start off too good. I was on Sports Live, the ATL. I said, oh, yeah, it looks like he's kind of choking. It looks like he's kind of falling apart. And then he really, really kept me quiet the rest of the night because you know what? He mowed them down. He really, really mowed them down. For the exception of Ronald Acuna Jr. Really barreling off the hand. No one else really did anything. If it wasn't for Ronald Acuna Jr. last night, what the Braves would have won this game, I'm not too sure. Of course, if you would have taken out Ronald Acuna Jr. out of being technically, if you followed the score, of course, the Phillies would have won 3-0. But as I said, of course, you always got to factor in the mentality. Aaron Nola was quite effective last night overall, and it's a shame he got absolutely, pretty much no run support. 8 strikeouts for him, certainly not too shabby. And Brad Hand an inning, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout as well. 2.22 ERA for Brad Hand. And as Julian said, comment on my last video, he said, I'm really, really worried about the offense. I am really worried about the offense, and I agree. I'm very worried about this offense. It's been very, very lousy. It's not been looking too, eager and aggressive. They've just been sitting back and just letting their opponent mow them down. It's easier said than done. But Jake Odorizzi had our number last night, no question about it. And Spencer Strider today. So that's not going to be easy either. I wish we were going against Charlie Morton, a guy we actually do pretty well against, but we had Bailey Falter on the mound, 5-3 with a 3.80 ERA. I do have some hope in him. You know why? Because every time we've needed this guy, he's stepped up and pitched very well. So I'm hoping that maybe that happens today, but it's a lot of pressure on a guy that really isn't used to having a lot of pressure on him. Spencer Strider, 10-5 with a 2.72 ERA. I just don't want to get swept. Please don't get swept. Whatever happens, do not get swept. I just do not want to get swept by the Braves. I just really don't. So off day tomorrow, and then 6:45 against the Blue Jays at Citizens Bank Park on Tuesday. And team that we are absolutely terrible against. This homestand, the last homestand of the season is going to be rough. The Blue Jays, a team we've been terrible against since pretty much we existed. Of course, the Atlanta Braves, a team that we do play better against at Citizens Bank Park. Here's another interesting thing, and I even thought of it this last night. We are never, ever good down there at Truist Park. We've always played terrible down there. We always blow a lot of leads. We don't really seem to hit too well down there. We play terrible at that ballpark. Probably the worst ballpark we play at in our whole division, other than Citi Field. We also don't play well at Citi Field either. In 2 places where you need to be playing your best ability, we do not play very well. I think we especially do worse at Truist Park. I think that's even worse than Citi Field. It's just frustrating. It's really frustrating, especially when Aaron Nola goes out there and pitches his butt off, and he pretty much gets no run support. I'm saying he was fantastic last night. He wasn't. Of course, he made a few mistakes with the 2-run double to Acuna Jr. and then the 2-run shot to him as well earlier. But he pitched well enough to get the win. 7 innings, 4 earned against a World Series team. Come on. That's pretty darn good if you want my opinion. And the offense didn't back him up at all. They didn't. It's a simple fact. So we need to do better. It's really, really frustrating, especially when you have the San Diego Padres playing the measly Arizona Diamondbacks. You have to try to beat these guys, to stay ahead of the San Diego Padres. So it's very unfortunate. Of course, they're going to, beat up on those Diamondbacks. But hopefully the Diamondbacks can get a win today to help us out. This is not an easy schedule. So the Blue Jays, the Braves, the Cubs, the Nationals, and the Astros. That is the rest of our season. So you pretty much have 2 series in there. You should easily at least win the series, right, with the Cubs and Nationals. But, of course, the Cubs are definitely going to be the tougher team out of those 2. And if we could just win 1 against the Blue Jays, I'd be very content with that. And if we could split against the Braves, even if we lose 2 out of 3 against the Astros, of course, that is the final series of the year, which is going to be really tough. But we have to sweep the Nationals, too, at Nationals Park. And hopefully we can win at least 2 out of 3 at Wrigley Field. I think we're going to be just fine. So that is pretty much it. I'm just frustrated. I can't stand watching this team mow down the really bad teams, and then they just go and play like an elite team like the Mets or the Braves or something like that, and they look lost. They look like a totally different team, and it's a sign of what separates a great team and a good team. Okay, so guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on that notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media, link to the description section at Phillies Hot Stove Media, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Hot Stove Media. Card text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshotstovemedia@gmail.com. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phils. I'll see you guys.